Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton. I just finished watching Batman Soul of the Dragon, directed by Sam Liu, and not only having our Caped Crusader Batman return to the animated sphere, but also Richard Dragon, Lady Shiva, and Ben Turner, aka Bronze Tiger. Now, if you love your classic 70s martial arts films, such as Enter the Dragon, or even more 80s style supernatural films like Big Trouble in Little China, the John Carpenter film, this will definitely feel like a blast from the past in the best way possible. With tons of cool martial arts movie action scenes, tons of cool one-liners, and definitely a film that would have benefited if Batman wasn't in it. Honestly, it's not that Batman isn't needed in the film at all. It's more that it's a film that could have worked even if he wasn't there. But let's get to the story, shall we? The story is that Bruce Wayne, along with Richard Dragon, Lady Shiva, and Ben Turner, all have to team up together to stop an evil cult known as the Cobra Cult from unleashing a demon god upon the world. But the problem is, all four of them have moved on from their martial arts training, and they need to be brought together when Richard Dragon discovers what's going on, and they have to not only fight ninjas, they also have to fight several superhuman foes, as well as a demon god known as Naga. But that's all I'll say about the story. The story is pretty straightforward, especially in the same style as those 70s and 80s martial arts films, like I was talking about. And it definitely benefits from that, considering that this isn't based on any actual storyline from the comics. It's actually an original story in its own right. And it does that story rather well. All four main characters get a chance to show their stuff, and all four of them get to have at least one cool action moment with one of the many side villains included, such as King Snake, Lady Eve. There's this, and some of these other snake demons that definitely do show off DC's capability for horror-related imagery. There's even a German snake guy who definitely does have a ton of over-the-top German villain traits, but again, it's mainly due to the style of the film that it's going for. It's just a shame that the animation style is very typical of these DC animated films. Not to say that that style is bad, but it just feels relatively samey, especially when you consider how this film is one of the more unique ones of the library. But you get used to it, and it really does liven up when it comes to the montages, and especially the action scenes, which you can tell is where the majority of the budget for the film ultimately went to. The voice cast is also excellent. Kelly Hu and Michael Jai White get to play Shiva and Bronze Tiger, and they essentially feel right at home when it comes to those roles. Even James Hong comes in as O-Sensei, and even though it's James Hong being James Hong, he does a pretty good job. Plus, even some voice actors that I'm more familiar with, like Patrick Seitz and Josh Keaton, play some villain roles, and likewise, they're pretty good. But this does feel like a film that doesn't really need Batman to be there. As if he was left out of the film, nothing really would have changed. But it feels like DC needed to have him in there, or else they really couldn't sell the film at all. I do hope that at some point they get to a point where they don't have to use Batman or Superman in a film at all to sell it. They did that a few times with Wonder Woman and Green Lantern and such, but I wish they'd do that more often. But if you can get past that, this film has a ton of things going for it. Like I said, the action scenes, the great 70s and 80s style, especially the musical score, which is absolutely eclectic. So if you definitely do love those martial arts films, you'll definitely love this film, and that's why I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. See you next time.